The Rivers High School Football Media Day. Every team from St. Clair County plus Leeds going to be talking about the upcoming 2021 season. We are live at Buffalo Wild Wings in Pell City. Victory Christian, the Lions, are next on the list. We could not do any of this without our sponsors. Let's run down some of the folks helping us get this on Facebook and YouTube. America's First Credit Union, AmFirst, Bobcat of Gadsden, of course, B-Dubs and Sean, they do a great job here. CarQuest in Odenville, also known as The Man Store. CMP Talladega, the Marksmanship Park. Coosa Valley Mortgage, Jeff State Community College. Main Street Drugs and Gift Shop with locations in Pell City, Asheville, and Odenville. Plus, right across the road from us, a big I-20, a huge American flag, McSweeney Automotive, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
You also want to thank Metro Bank. Lots of locations across St. Clair County. Planet Nutrition in Pell City. State Farm agent Bart Perry and his great hair. St. Clair County Commission and the chairman of the St. Clair County Commission. I want to thank Paul and the great commissioners there. St. Clair County District Attorney Lyle Harmon. St. Clair County Farmers Co-op in Asheville and in Pell City. I also want to thank St. Clair County Sheriff Billy Murray, Wind South Credit Union, and Woods Surfside Marina.
We're going to bring one of the best-dressed coaches in America on to talk a little high school football. Coach Bruce Breland, thank you so much for coming, bringing a couple of your players. Talk a little bit about what you're expecting this year.
Well, we have a great group of linemen. That's where our leadership, and I guess that's where our foundation is going to be, which isn't a bad thing. You know, that's where you got to start. And these two guys here with us today, Billy Davenport and Justice Hurley, are two of the leaders in that group. And, you know, last year we were young in a few areas, so we're definitely going to be leaning on these linemen this year to get us in the direction we need to get.
Well, we were talking when we were getting set up here. You brought some size with you, and we've had some pretty big football players roll through. These guys, they got some muscle on them too. They're ready to go. It looks like
they have. They're working out really hard, you know, and everybody does. But these guys go above and beyond, and they do a lot of extra things. But most of our kids are doing that. And, you know, these are just two of them. Our offensive line, you know, we were really young. They were babies a couple years ago, so they all have a lot of experience. And so it's good to see them grow up and get ready to do the things they're doing.
Coach, talk a little bit about the guys that you brought. Start with Billy Davenport, what he brings to the team.
Billy, probably if you put him at any position, he could tell you what everybody's supposed to be doing. So, you know, and Justice is paired with them over there on the right side. So the good thing is they're veterans, but if you had to put a young guy in there, Billy's going to give them that direction. And as far as just playing all out every snap, and they both play both sides of the ball. And Billy's brought size and strength, and his pad level now is as low as I've ever seen. So he's that guy, I guess, that rock of Gibraltar that you can always count on. He's going to be there.
And how about Justice? Talk about him a little bit.
Justice has a lot of passion for the game, sometimes a little too much passion, you know. He's got a hearing problem sometimes because he doesn't hear that whistle quite as well as he should. But, you know, we'd rather him play till the end of that whistle than try to be pulling up before. But, yeah, just great passion, great effort. Again, one of those guys that, you know, the old cliche of 100%, I mean, that's not even mentioning how hard those two guys play.
Well, let's talk to the guys a little bit. We'll start with the guy with maybe a little bit too much passion, Justice Hurley. Justice, all right, talk about playing some ball for Coach Breland and Victory Christian. What do you like about it?
Well, I like the intensity Coach brings to the football field and just his, perseverance towards just fine-tuning technique and being able to make every player be as good as they possibly can.
What about some stuff you do outside of football? Any other sports at Victory? What do you do for hobbies, too?
Well, I really don't have that many hobbies, being honest. I work a lot, and I work out and play football pretty much.
Where do you work? Somewhere locally or what?
I own a landscaping company.
Do you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, Coach was just talking about he had to cut his grass and cutting grass. You need to cut the old man's grass.
Well, I used to, but then he said I was charging him too much.
Hey, you know what? Let him keep sweating when it's 98 degrees outside.
I'll come off that pocket.
He'll realize that $50 to cut that grass isn't so bad after all. Billy Davenport, a senior as well. Billy, what you like about playing ball here at Victory?
I just really enjoy the coach. We have great coaches. They put a lot into the program. They really try hard to make us the best we can be.
How about outside of football? You do anything else?
I play basketball and with Coach Breland. It's my coach in basketball too, and tennis, golf. Yes, sir.
Golf. He said.
Golf story.
Yeah, we got an upcoming golf star here.
What's your best round?
78.
That's pretty solid. That'll get you through some tournaments there. That'll beat me, that's for sure.
Your phone will be ringing for scrambles somewhere down the line. Coach, let's talk a little bit about teams in your region. It's, of course, Ragland. That's always a big game every year. Talk about, I know it's a little ways apart, private school versus public, but that seems to always be a big game on the schedule.
It is. It always is, and they always have a sound football team. The unique thing about this year is the new head coach at Ragland, Coach Tidwell, Wes Tidwell. I hired him when I was head coach down at Alma Bryant in Mobile. So he was on my staff, so now he's moved up here. And, in fact, I recommended him for the job, not that I carried that much weight, but I really wanted to see him get it. Unfortunately, I know he's a good football coach, and we better be ready to go. And
so sadly, you trained him well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hopefully not too well. You didn't teach him all those tricks, right?
Yeah. Then he even asked. He goes, "Y'all still running, sugar and China and it's a couple of things we do?" And I was like, "No, we don't do that anymore."
Yeah. You're breaking up, Coach. I can't hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Also, Donahoe, Talladega County Central. Over the years, they've had some big, strong guys play there. Winneboro, and y'all. Who are some of your non-region games this year?
Well, we opened up with Summerton, and they're picked to be one of the top teams in their region. And then we also play Horseshoe Bend, and what I've used this analogy that our region is like the SEC West. If you're going to play week in and week out, you're going to have good competition every week.
Coach Bruce Breland with us from Victory Christian School, and they get started before too long. We are at the Rivers High School Football Media Day, including every high school team from St. Clair County and Leeds. And want to thank you for bringing the guys up here. Talk a little bit about some of the other coaches and some of the players that you couldn't bring.
Okay, that's always a tough decision,
right?
When you're having to pick just a couple out. And that's the thing, leadership is you don't have to be a senior, but it seems to be when those guys get to be seniors, they know how everything should go, and we have great direction there. My staff is just super. They give of their hearts, and you heard the players talk about it a little bit. And my coaching staff is really one of the best I've ever been around. This is my 40th or 41st year. I lose count, but they're a great group of guys. And they're there. I don't have to say anything to them or ask them to do anything. They're proactive, and whether it be getting the field ready to go or we meet every day after practice, and they're there with everything they've got. We got a great group of guys coming back. We got receivers, Miles Martin on one side and Jacob Hadaway on the other. That's moved from tailback out there. Not because, certainly because he couldn't play tailback, but last year that was our weak area. This year we've got a lot of tailbacks. We do have a lot of depth in those spots. Quarterback, we've got a young quarterback, left-handed young man named Jacob Tucker. We expect a lot out of him, and he's still learning. I mean, it's going to be first game or two going to be a learning experience. But in the spring game, he threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for another, and he's going to be a sophomore, but he really stepped up and gave us a lot on that side of the ball.
Talking with Coach Bruce Breland from the Victory Christian Lions. You talked about, you've been coaching a while. You're a little seasoned when it comes to coaching, and you've coached everything, Victory or 1A all the way to 7A and a lot in between. What are some of the big differences between 7A and 1A, aside from, just the roster size, but what are some of the big differences?
Well, I think it's depth, and I think when you get an injury, I think that's when even if you just have to pull a player out because he's turned his ankle, I mean, nothing major, you may have to shift around one or two guys to cover yourself.
You got to pull in the fifth grader sometimes at
Yeah, you
1A
gotta-
level.
Yeah, so you get on the PA system and say, hey, anybody played D-back before? But I guess that's the major thing. But I like it because the relationships with the ball players is much greater. You're around them a lot more. And you always give of yourself and you develop those relationships. But when you only got 28 players instead of 100 players, and that's what it's about. I mean, is developing those relationships, those young men, and we do. We have a great time with them, and I know we're tough on them and it's tough love, but we have great relationships, and that would be the difference.
Well, Coach, man, we appreciate you coming up. We appreciate you bringing Justice and Billy with you, and hope you guys get to enjoy some chicken here at B-Dubs and some cold drinks, and maybe keep you from – are you done with the yard today, or you got more left to do?
I got more left to do.
Oh, man. All right. Well, a couple of dollars will get it done for you. You can stay inside, right?
Just seven short numbers away.
Exactly. My bank account's not that heavy.
Coach, we appreciate you coming up. Good luck this year.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you
luck,
guys for having us very much.
Absolutely.
We're broadcasting from Media Day, put on by the River, our third annual at Buffalo Wild Wings in Pell City. More football coming up. And if you are watching live, you can rewatch it on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be back with some more high school football on 94.1